My new vid phone is essential to my business.
Hello, Tex Murphy. Decide to take me up on my proposition?
We need to talk.
Sounds serious. When do you want to get together?
How about as soon as possible?
All right. There's a lounge here at the Imperial. Meet me in a half an hour.
This is my official front door. The Imperial is in the new city. Not too nice, but a few cuts above the Ritz. I walk into the lobby, then down a flight of stairs to the lounge. I'm not looking forward to telling Regan what happened to her father, but she deserves to know, and I'm gonna need her help. Thanks for the bourbon.
Is everything okay?
Tell me about your father.
My father worked for the military. I was born in China. I was raised there. We were really pretty close when I was younger, especially after my mother died. And then, we moved back here when he retired. Then he married that teenage gold digger. You know who I'm talking about. And, we had a little bit of a falling out. I just want to see him again.
I talked to your father last night.
You did? Where is he? I want to see him.
It's too late, Regan.
What do you mean?
NSA killed him. He almost got both of us last night. I'm sorry. Maybe I should come.
It's okay. You always knew they were gonna get him. That's why he didn't want me to know about his work. That's why he sent all those boxes out.
I recovered something. See if it looks familiar to you.
Yes, it's my father's. I recognize his writing. But he wrote it all in his own personal shorthand. It's almost impossible for me to figure out.
Why don't you give it a try anyway? It's one of the leads I'm working on to see what your father was doing.
It's lucky the NSA didn't get this.
You think it's that important?
Yeah, I do. I remember a conversation he had with a man who said that if he could make a translation, it would be worth a fortune.
Maybe it's tied to the boxes.
I brought mine with me.
Yeah, I had one, but the NSA confiscated it. But I know somebody else who's got one.
Who?
Gordon Fitzpatrick.
Oh, God. Gordon Fitzpatrick. I haven't heard that name since I was a little kid. He used to work for my father.
Well, he's as anxious to recover the boxes as you are. In fact, he's paying my tab. I say we form a triple alliance. He's got more connections than either one of us have got.
Let's wait and see what happens. Here, take a look at this. My father made it when we were in Peking, and several others like it. He didn't show me how to open it, though.
How many of these are there?
Oh, 5, I think.
Look, why don't you let me take this and see if I can get it opened up?
I'm not sure I like that idea. I mean, you could open it up and find the others and take all the money for yourself.
Listen, Regan, you gotta trust me. You can't do this by yourself. Nobody can. You need my help, and I need your help.
I guess I don't have much choice, do I? Tex, don't run out on me. I already lost my father.
I won't. Sounds like I got a message on the vid phone. My new vid phone is...
Listen, Murphy, I've got a proposition for you. Give me a call when you get this. Hey, Murphy.
Okay, what's the deal?
You followed up on the auto tech tip I gave you, right?
Yeah, turned out to be an NSA front.
But you got inside.
Not as far as you know.
Call it a hunch. Anyway, I need you to get something for me. It's a file with documentation on an NSA project called Operation Euphoria. It's kept in the NSA evidence room in the Autotech building.
How do you know all this?
Let's just say I've gotten to know some useful people. So what do you say? If you can get me the file, I'll trade you information or maybe something else. I've got access to anything you want. Just name it. Are you gonna ask me about every person you ever heard of?
Well, there is a favor you can do for me. You ever heard of a book called There Are Messages from Outer Space?
Sure. It's like a Bible for UFO nuts.
Well, I've got reason to believe that someone made an anagram out of the title. I need to find a computer program that'll check out all the possible anagrams.
Well, that's easy. I know the guy who does the anagrams down here at the paper. I'm sure he can take care of it. Might take a few days, though.
That's okay. Just get it as soon as you can. I'll see what I can do to retrieve the Operation Euphoria file. Anything else?
Yeah. My contact got me a pass key. I guess you'll need it to get to the file. I'll send it over by express courier.
All right. I'll let you know when I'm ready to make the swap.
Don't know anything about it. Seems to me I've heard that name in connection with the UFO industry. I don't know anymore. I've never read it myself. Popular with the UFO junkies, though. Horton was with the NSA. He was the right-hand man of a higher-up named Jackson Cross. That's not in my area. Are you gonna ask me about every person you ever heard of? That's a whacked-out magazine if I ever saw one. Alien encounters, abductions, that sort of thing. I can't help you, but I'll check my sources. That's not in my area. There's nothing I'd like more than to light a fire under the National Surveillance Agency. It's like they say, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Looks like Regan isn't home right now. I'll have to try later. Well, now that I got Purnell's key, at least getting into the locker at the NSA should be easy. My new vid...
Hello there. I'm glad I caught you at home.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't drop by in person, because my housekeeper's on the rampage again.
If I dropped by, I'd just mess up your apartment anyway.
So what'd you find out?
Well, not much. About the only thing I could figure out was toward the end of the notebook. There were quite a few references to OE, EW, and AE, but I'm not sure what they stand for.
Well, the E and the W could be directions or compass points, and the OE stands for Old English, but that doesn't seem very relevant. Whatever they mean, I get the feeling they're leading to something really big. Everyone and their dogs want to get their hands on your father's work.
As soon as we find out what these initials stand for, we'll be halfway to a fortune.
I don't know. Maybe your father was keeping this under wraps for good reason. When we find out what this is all about, we may decide that whatever he learned shouldn't be let out into circulation.
What are you talking about? That's why we're in this. For the money.
Look, your father wanted to keep this work away from the NSA, and I think that's an omen.
We won't sell it to them. We'll only sell the information to the right people.
What if it's not that simple? What if it's something that would be better locked up forever?
That's not an option. It was my father's work, so by rights it's mine now. You can have a piece of the action, or I can do it alone. Now I think you should give me back that box I gave you.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You don't have the right to keep it from me. It's mine.
That's not the point.
You're right, Tex. I'm being foolish and irresponsible. If there's nothing terrible about what we find, we'll make a lot of money and live happily ever after.
Let's keep our fingers crossed, but for now I just want you to sit tight. I have a feeling things are going to get a little sticky from now on. Those initials you found may refer to other people who received boxes from your father. I'll see what I can turn up. Give me a call if anything else occurs to you.
All right, Tex. I'll be here. Please be careful.
What can I help you with?
I learned a few new things, and I'd like to run them by you.
By all means. A.E. I suppose that could refer to Archie Ellis. I believe he's the editor of the Cosmic Connection. You found one of the boxes? Well, I must say, your investigative skills are impressive. I don't know who he is. No, I've heard of the book, but I've never read it. I can't help you with that. Project Blueprint was the name given to the military's analysis of the alien materials. Oh, yes, I know of him. He's a respected writer in the field of UFO studies. By all appearances, he's a reclusive man. I don't believe I have any additional information. I believe he's the editor of the Cosmic Connection.
After Fitzpatrick hangs up, I realize I forgot to ask him for Ellis's phone number. I decided to check the directory, and surprisingly, Ellis's name is listed.
Identify yourself.
I'm a friend of Dr. Thomas Malloy.
Tell me your name and your connection to Dr. Malloy.
My name's Murphy. Dr. Malloy asked me to carry on his work involving hieroglyphics found in the Roswell spaceship.
If you have knowledge of the Roswell hieroglyphics, then you should know other details regarding alien studies. If you can answer several questions, I will agree to meet with you. Who was the author of There Are Messages from Space?
J.I. Thelwait?
Correct. What is the name of the site of the immense alien landing strips in Peru?
The Plain of Nazca.
Correct. Name the structure located at Tiahuanaco.
The Gate of the Sun.
You have passed the test. Contact Archibald Ellis at 413 Vina Del Mar.
This is my official front door. The sloppily painted sign 413 Vina Del Mar identifies the place as the Cosmic Connection. The display window is filled with charms, amulets, UFO books, and astrology charts. It doesn't look too promising. I open the door and step inside. An innocuous-looking little man is debating furiously with someone on the vidphone.
Look, extraterrestrial contact was made by the Russians throughout the 50s. It is well documented.
Wrong decade, Arch.
The aliens had to get rid of Kennedy before he exposed them, and LBJ was certainly under their control, if not actually one of them.
LBJ was a commie, mate.
Look, Larry, Vietnam was a ruse to divert the America's public attention and to throw our political system into chaos.
Cliche, cliche, cliche.
You know what, Larry? You're really beginning to get on my nerves here, okay? So why don't I call you back later? Goodbye. You always sneak up on people like that?
I'm a PI. It's what I get paid to do. Are you Ellis?
Yeah, that's right. You must be Murphy. Here's my card. You got one?
Darn it, I think I just handed out my last one.
Oh, okay. Well, you give me one later. So, you're a private eye, huh? Never met a private eye before. Hey, want some herbal tea?
No.
No? Oh, okay. So, you know Dr. Malloy?
I knew him. He's dead. The NSA murdered him.
Murdered him?
Actually, I think the NSA wanted to take him alive. So I gather from that the NSA wanted something from him. Now, you were with him recently. Do you have any idea what that'd be? Oh, do you mind?
Actually, I do.
So I guess this is the part where you tell me everything you know about Malloy.
I wasn't done with that yet.
Sorry.
You want me to start at the beginning?
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Well, I publish a magazine called The Cosmic Connection. I'm sure you've heard of it. We feature investigative reports, interviews, anything concerning the supernatural, the ET, anything like that. Anyway, one of my contacts in the field is a man by the name of Elijah Witt. Oh, he is a legend in the area of alien encounters. Anyway, a few months back, he set up an interview between Dr. Malloy and myself.
Did Witt say how he knew Malloy?
No, but I think that Witt, pulled some strings and got him, Malloy, a research lab at San Francisco Tech. Witt used to be a professor there, and,
Any idea what Malloy was doing at the research lab?
I don't really know, but he did use a strange term, the Pandora device. I'm not really sure exactly what it means.
Pandora device.
Well, yeah, he talks about the dark seed that was unleashed.
The what?
Well, something got loose, something alive. I mean, come on, there's been stories around for ages. Anyway, we talked about other things, Roswell, of course. You know what? What you should probably do is read some books, and I can make some recommendations.
Oh, they have big pictures.
Let's see, I'm gonna start you with something light. Foucault's Pendulum. This is practically a manual on government conspiracies. And, let's see, Adrift in the Telluric Currents. Now, this is a little tougher read, but it's good. It's really good. And a must-read is The Fifth Column, okay, by Richard Eco. Now, this man, he was a prophet. I mean, he proved without reasonable doubt that we've been living amongst aliens for generations, and the government knows everything. I mean, it even hints that one of our presidents was a alien, if not at least half. I won't tell you which president. I want to ruin the surprise for you. Anyway, it's all in there: crop circles, abductions, etc., etc. Look, if you want my advice, don't trust anybody, okay? I mean, I can sense you're on the level here, but most of the time, people, you just don't know. I mean, aliens are everywhere, man.
Hey, Archie. How do you know I'm not an alien?
Murph, you're so silly. Everyone knows aliens deny their own existence.
Well, I appreciate you letting me borrow these.
Sure, just take them home with you.
Could I ask you a few more questions?
Sure, that would be great.
Did Malloy send you a small box made of some strange metal, no apparent way of opening it up?
Well, actually he did, but it got stolen. That in the interview I did with Dr. Malloy. You know, I'm missing a stapler too and a few pens. I don't know if I misplaced them or...
So let me get this straight. You just let somebody waltz in here and take the box?
Well, no, actually I hid it. But whoever broke in, they knew exactly what they were looking for. The interview that I did with Dr. Malloy was on 2 separate discs. They only got the first one. You want to watch it? Sorry for the interruption, Doctor. This power cell, as you call it, could it be used to power these ships?
Hypothetically. But first, we'd have to get into the Roswell complex. And the military isn't about to roll out the red carpet.
Well, rumors have circulated for years about what really happened there. Would you care to shed some light on the incident?
Well, I can only tell you what I've heard. Among the various items recovered at the Roswell crash were several egg-shaped capsules stored inside a containment chamber. Now, no one could figure out how to open the capsules, so they faded into the background for years. Then the researchers figured out how to operate the accelerator. Apparently, someone used it on one of the capsules and something was released into the facility. And whatever it was, it killed off almost everyone in the complex before the military could quarantine the area.
And no one's been in the complex since then?
Not that I know of.
Thank you for your time, Doc. So, what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
Well, the stuff about Roswell was interesting. He didn't say anything about the Pandora device.
Nope. So what are we gonna do now?
Well, I've got to find out more about the Pandora device. Maybe I ought to contact Elijah Witt.
Ooh, I don't think that's a very good idea.
Why not?
Well, you see, Mr. Witt, he's a personal friend of mine, but he's a very important, very private person. He doesn't like strangers. too many wackos on the loose, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Archie.
There were strange designs on the box. They looked, Mayan or Aztec. I told you what I know. I mean, by the name, I guess it's something powerful and something Dr. Malloy doesn't want to let loose. Well, I'm just one of the few people who realize that we are not alone in the universe. I mean, anyone who thinks otherwise is insane. I don't know anything about any other boxes. Malloy never mentioned them. Yeah, that's the pen name for Elijah Witt. He uses for his books. It's an anagram of his real name. Sure, I know about the book. You don't? I mean, I read it at least 100 times. No, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, that's the code name for the research done at Roswell on the alien wreckage. I don't have any real good documentation on it. The government keeps a very tight lid on it. Oh, Mr. Witt is a living legend in the UFOologist community. I would love to have him over for some herbal tea and conversation, but he's always busy. I guess I just have to be content with his books. Well, as you can see, my shop here isn't just for anyone, but my magazine is written to be interesting and informative to all readers of all ages. Sorry. I don't know anything about any other boxes. Malloy never mentioned them. Sure, I know about NSA. Scary group. I mean, it's common knowledge they're being run by aliens. Let me think. No, nothing. Yeah, she's a reporter for the Bay City Mirror. I mean, I tried to get her to write for the Cosmic Connection, but we didn't hit it off real well. Well, I subscribe to the Mirror. It's a little soft on conspiracy issues, but yeah, not bad overall. That name isn't familiar to me. Sorry. I don't recognize that name. That name isn't familiar to me. Oh, the doctor was a really nice guy. I'm really sorry to hear that he's no longer on this Earth plane. Dead. Sorry. I don't recognize that name. That name isn't familiar to me. Oh, yeah, someone by that name contacted me a couple weeks ago. He was trying to locate Dr. Malloy, but I couldn't give him much help. Sorry. I don't recognize that name. That name isn't familiar to me. Sorry. Well, it's good to meet someone with the same ideas as me. I get so tired of people thinking I'm some kind of kook or something.
Talking to Ellis was like entering the Twilight Zone. All this hocus pocus about aliens and quarantines. And what's the story of the Pandora device Ellis referred to? I wonder if it could be linked to the boxes Malloy sent out. Looks like a module of some sort and some small metal pegs.